Wrestling Tag Team Championship. Introducing first the challengers from New Haven, Connecticut. At a total combined weight of 390 pounds, the Smooth Soldier, Sean Knight, and the Meta, Jay Onyx. They are the Haven.
Well, the Haven are back here in Chaotic Wrestling. They are, of course, one half of the group known as the Miracle Generation. They may not be familiar to Chaotic Wrestling fans as such, but the Miracle Generation have been making waves all over the New England area. But the Haven, Jay Onyx and Sean Knight are back in Chaotic Wrestling, and they have a huge opportunity to take on the GGC, God's Greatest Creations. And again, God's Greatest Creations came out of Cold Fury, still the champions, with their leader, Jariel Rivera, finally revealing to us all that he is no longer wheelchair bound. But he has allowed the GGC to defend here tonight without his presence. It's a very interesting situation brewing within the GGC themselves.
Their opponents are a collective gift sent from heaven, weighing in at the perfect total combined weight. They are the current reigning and defending Chaotic Wrestling Tag Team Champions, Brother Steven and Deacon Chaos. They are God's Greatest Creations.
Well, the GGC, Brother Steven, Deacon Chaos, have been tag team champions for a number of months now. It is an interesting, well, let's call it a curious absence of Jariel Rivera. But the
formerly known as Wheelchairial.
Indeed, we saw him come out of that wheelchair at Cold Fury when the GGC successfully defended their championships. But how great is it to have the Haven back here in Chaotic Wrestling? Of course, as one half of the Miracle Generation, they may not be so familiar to Chaotic Wrestling fans. We've seen them before, of course.
Yes.
But they really have stepped up their game in the last 365 days. This has been a heck of a year for the Miracle Generation as a whole, but specifically for the Haven. And they've got tag team gold opportunities right here.
Huge opportunity here for the Chaotic Wrestling Tag Team Championship.
Now, of course, you know, the Haven come not only with a plethora of tag team moves, but with some very curious nicknames that they have. Of course, you have the Meta, which is a phenomenal nickname. We're going to get that bell rung. Here it is. We are ready to go. We got the Meta. Now, what do you mean? What do you think the Meta means, and how is that going to be presented? Of course, because the Meta on the ring apron right now is having to watch his partner get kicked in the midsection. As Sean Knight takes a big boot to the midsection.
His partner, the Smooth Soldier, Sean Knight.
Now, the Smooth Soldier, I like where they're coming from. And listen, tag teams come and go here in Chaotic Wrestling at times, but we love it when they come back. And the Haven clearly enjoy being here in Chaotic Wrestling, and that right there was smooth by Sean Knight. And this right here is the Haven showing what they came to do. They are not laying down so much, but they are going to make the, oh, look at that beautiful swing move right there, and a brilliant drop kick right to the face. Great stuff right there from Sean Knight. Now, Brother Steven in the ring right here, being dragged into the corner, and here we get the Meta. Jay Onyx tagging in. What do you understand of the Meta, Rich?
I understand of the Meta and the Smooth Soldier that these are two hungry, hard-working kids that, as you said, have had a great past 365 days. The past year, they have been traveling the highways and byways, putting in all the action. Meta now going for the pin. Jay Onyx, the larger of the two.
Oh, and look at that. Brother Steven just sprinted to his corner. Deacon Chaos coming in right on the receiving end of a high arm drag from Onyx. And again, this is the Tag Team Wrestling 101. Bring your opponent back to your corner. We know this, but there are teams that do it well, and then there are teams that do it phenomenally well. And right now, we are seeing the Haven do it phenomenally well. And look at them using each other as a beautiful twisting splash. Great stuff from the Haven. Cover, just a 2 count.
Great continuity on the part of the Haven. These two young athletes, like we said, from New Haven, Connecticut, obviously. One half of the Miracle Generation, of course, with the Miracle Generation being Dustin Flash Waller and Kylon King.
And we've seen both of those guys here in Chaotic Wrestling in brief stints, of course.
Yes.
But listen, you know, right now it's the Haven's moment, and this could be their time to pick those championships. And listen, they will be, if they win the championships here in Chaotic Wrestling, which might be a little less likely now that Brother Steven has just taken the head off of Sean Knight outside the ring. But if they did win those championships, there's nothing stopping them taking them with them on the road, on the highways and byways that you so speak of, and defending them everywhere that they usually go. But the GGC are back in control here, live at the Night Shift Brewing Company in Everett, Massachusetts, and live on Twitch.
The Haven, no strangers to tag team championships, like you said, would love to capture the Chaotic Wrestling titles. Nobody's been able to touch the GGC.
I mean, it's a strange thing, right? Ever since the GGC took on Shot Through the Heart, they've figured out a little bit of tag team wrestling that, dare I say, few other tag teams have figured out. They don't need to control the action 100% of the time. They just need to make sure that they are able to get that nail in the coffin the last possible time. They've used some nefarious tactics. I think we can both agree on that. But you cannot deny the talent of Deacon Chaos in the ring right now, and you absolutely cannot deny the talent of Brother Steven. Brother Steven has taken to this tag team wrestling game like very few others. It's a great thing to witness, and I hate to use the word witness when we're talking about a group that has some form of a zealot ideology, but it is a great thing to witness of these two, and this is where they start to come alive. You get Brother Steven in the ring to get a few kicks in, and now they get some tag team wrestling going, some double teams in the ring, and they quickly go in and out.
Yeah, I mean, to give the Devils their due, and I don't know if it's appropriate to say Devil with a tag team that's name is God's Greatest Creations, but give the Devils their due. Brother Steven, like you said, has taken a tag team wrestling like none other. Deacon.
You're not the only. I make that mistake all the time because, listen, since the GGC have formed, Armani is no more. The name Owlmania Chaos is now deemed by Deacon Chaos himself to be unholy.
But let's talk about the ridiculous shape that Deacon Chaos has gotten himself in.
It's unbelievable. There's a tag, and there we go. Jay Onyx is in the ring.
Referee Kevin Quinn did not see the tag. He's forcing the Meta out.
No tag. He says no tag, and I think the GGC have just got a huge let off right there, because that was Jay Onyx in. He hit the tag, but didn't allow it, and now there's a cover after Deacon Chaos put the boots to Knight on the outside.
I was going to say, Quinn sent Jay Onyx outside of the ropes, as did Sean Knight, get thrown out of the ropes by God's Greatest Creations. But look at Sean Knight, that smooth soldier, never giving up, always battling, but he just ate a knee in the midsection and a huge body slam from Brother Steven.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, as I say, conspicuous by his absence, being Jario Rivera, allegedly, and look at this double team move, into a huge Alabama slam right there, cover, but shoulders weren't down, and that's going to cost him, unfortunately. That's only a 2 count. But conspicuous by his absence, Jario Rivera, there is an allegedly he gave the GGC permission to perform without him being here. But as we saw at Cold Fury, there is a little bit of tension between Rivera and I would say specifically Brother Steven. They did seem to reconcile at the end, but if I remember rightly, Brother Steven kicked Jerry Rivera away in the chair, and Deacon Chaos did not see what just took place. And look at this, a beautiful head scissors by Knight off of the back of Brother Steven, but Brother Steven catches the leg in motion.
Yeah, before Sean Knight could tag out to Jay Onyx, but can't stop him now.
Inzagura, and Onyx is in. Flying elbow by Onyx. There's a second one. The point of that elbow driving into the chest. Clothesline missed, and a big boot by Jay Onyx. Brother Steven getting back to his feet in the corner. And the Meta with a huge back. And there's a brilliant clothesline. Wow. Cover.
Could we have new champions? No.
Oh my goodness, that was so very close. Tell you what, I think Everett are jonesing for new champions right now.
I'll tell you, just because Jerry Rivera did not accompany the champions to the ring doesn't mean he's not somewhere at Night Shift Brewing.
I mean, I didn't see him backstage. I've got to be honest. I always do look. I don't lie to the audience. They know that. I didn't see him backstage. And as I said, when I spoke to the GGC earlier, they were a little hesitant, but they did tell me that they had the blessing, is their exact words, to be here defending them. Wow, what a high kick there. And the Haven looks like they're back in control thanks to Sean Knight. And now Sean Knight tags in legally. There was no way that wasn't going to be counted as Onyx picks him up. Onyx has him in the fireman's carry, drops him with a Death Valley driver. And now the legal man, Sean Knight, climbing up top. Jay Onyx is going to join him on the opposite side of the ring. And Brother Steven is in the middle of the ring, dead to rights. Big splash.
Deacon Chaos still on the outside.
And another splash. Double T move. Oh, and I think Deacon Chaos threw the Meta into the Smooth Soldier.
Certainly did. Snuck in under the bottom rope, threw Jay Onyx onto both Brother Steven and Sean Knight, breaking up the pin.
And now Onyx tagged back in. This is where the Haven are very familiar with their surroundings. And look at them using the ring as a weapon, both in and outside. Onyx comes up. Oh, and there it is. The unholy butt bump right there from Deacon Chaos, throwing Sean Knight over. Double hip toss throw, putting Onyx back in the corner where the GGC need him to be. And now Chaos is in the ring and perhaps setting up for God's greatest combination. And there it is. Chaos, the legal man, covers. And the champions retain with God's greatest combination.
Here are your winners and still Chaotic Wrestling Tag Team Champions, Brother Steven and Deacon Chaos, God's greatest creations.
Oh, they pick up a great victory over a well-respected tag team. The Haven did a great job tonight, but it was just a little bit, they came up a little bit short. And the reason they came up short, honestly, is because God's greatest creation have figured this tag team game out. They know how to, let's just say, bend the rules to their advantage. What they do in the ring is still elite and top class. How they get it done, well, that's another conversation for another time. But they retain their championships here at the Night Shift Brewery in Everett.
There'll be another day for the Haven, I'm sure of that.
I sure hope so in Chaotic Wrestling. We love them. We like to see them back. Well, we got a debut coming up here at the Night Shift Brewery coming up next. And it is a meteoric debut, a galaxy-shifting debut, if you will.